Hello and welcome to this special podcast brought to you by Royal Heritage Foundation under the Advancing Women's Political Participation Project. I'm your host, Olayide Juliana, and today we'll be diving into the most talked about issue in the Nigerian political space right now, the reserved seat bill. Some call it a breakthrough for equity, others call it a forced representation. So, is it forced or fair? Today we'll be unpacking this conversation, and I have some amazing people here with me in the studio to help with this topic. I have Blessing Olanrewaju with me. She is a social entrepreneur. She is a public speaker and also the founder of Blessing Help Empowerment Initiative. You're welcome to the studio, Miss.
Thank you very much for having me.
I Thank you so much for coming. I also have Barakat and Adejumo. She's also a social entrepreneur. She's an on-air personality and also the founder of Atunto Foundation. Correct. Thank you so much for honoring our invitation.
It's our pleasure.
And lastly, I have the should I say the face? Yes, the face of the focal person um for the advancing women's physical participation project, is the AWPP project in RHHF. Her name is Abimbola, Barrister Abimbola Oyinloye. She's also a women's rights advocate. You're very welcome. Thank you very much for joining us today. So it's in the studio. All right. So once again, I have Mrs. Olanrewaju Blessing. Like I said, she's the founder of Blessing Help Empowerment Initiative. I also have Miss Barakat Adejumo. She's also the founder of Atunto Initiative and a social entrepreneur. And lastly, I have Barrister Abimbola Seun Oyinloye. She's the project manager for the UN Women Advanced Women's Political Participation Project being implemented here in Kwara State under RHHF, which is Royal Heritage Foundation. So let's begin with a simple but important question. To start, can each of you briefly um introduce yourself and share why this conversation matters to you personally? Thank you. Any of you can go first.
Okay, so I would begin. Thank you very much for the privilege once again, and thank you to my amiable stakeholders as I call them. So, um, just as a question says, it is important for me to speak about the reserved seat bill and this topic especially because over time I have discovered, and in the course of this project, I have discovered that there are so many obstacles before me in getting whatsoever they need. This is not just political. I'm talking educational, social construct. We have to do twice as much to get anything. It is important that I am a one-man advocate. It is important that I speak as much as I can on whatsoever impacts the life of women positively in the society. Once again, I'm Abimbola Seun, project manager at Advanced Women's Political Participation Project by UN Women here in Royal Heritage Foundation. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Everybody.
Hi, my name is Barakat Adejumo, just like you said. Thank you so much, Ms. Juliana. It's a privilege to be here. So for me as a person, I think one of the things that people always say is it first or fairness? To me, I want to talk about that because we are not seeing it as a fairness from equity aspect. I think the society still perceives it something to be forced on men, or like we're trying to push our men from leadership roles, which is not. So that is what I'm most concerned about.
Thank you so much.
All right, so my name is Blessing Olanrewaju. Just as she has said, I'm a social entrepreneur and founder of a social project, right? And I'm also the convener of She Speaks, She Leads. And one of the things that drives me about this reserved seats bill is the fact that this reserved seats bill is not just for the boss. It is something that is truly affecting a lot of us as women. Now, not just let's take it from here. We have children. Talking from my own experience as a mother, I do not want my children or my daughters to face the same thing that I'm facing. Now, this is about building legacy. It's about ensuring that systems are being put in place so that the next generation would have a soft landing. You understand, especially for our girl child, our girl female children. They are out there, they are growing, but then what they see us do, what they see us implement would truly affect and impact their future in making choices and also in doing things in the future.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your answers. Sincerely, I this just to this is just to confirm the fact that we brought, I mean, amazing people here to share wonderful insights about this topic. I mean, they're so loaded just from the first question and the answers they both provided to this question. So I also like to ask, moving on to the next question, that in your own words, what is a reserve seat bill and why do you think it's generating so many attention? Right?
All right, so the reserved seat bill is generating so much attention because it's something that is bringing about change and is affecting and hitting the right people. You know, there has been a lot of misconceptions about the reserve seat bill. Some people would feel threatened. So let me not say let me not say men alone, but for real. So a lot of men feel threatened. They feel like this means they're coming to take our space. And that is why you hear the boss, they are trying to talk it down. They are trying to say, why would you be saying all this for women, blah, 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 and all of that. So we hear a lot of things like this. And also, this is not about being looking for favor. No, this is not about favor. It's not about favoritism or just making women, giving them a softer opportunity. No, this is not what the reserve seat bill is about. It's about actually reconstructing the structures. You know, we have the structure that has been set up to favor men in quotes. There are lots of opportunities that that is just so natural for men, which are not natural for women. Now, when we look at it, just like we always say, we are trying to look for equality, but when equality is not attainable, we have to look in for equity. And that is what this reserved seat bill is all about. We are trying to raise the cushion. We are going to provide a cushion for women. Women are ready. Women are willing to do this. We have a lot of women doing great things, but then the opportunities, the access is not there. And that is why we are doing this. And also, if you look at other African countries that are doing well, like Rwanda, like Senegal, like, other countries, they have put in proper structures. They have put in quotas and, there are reserved seats for women. And that is why you can see them doing 40%, 50% of women's representation. While here in Nigeria, we are here struggling to have 5%. So the difference is so wide. And that is why this is very important for us. We need to ensure that there is a structure that is made available for us as women that would help, ensure that more women are involved in politics.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. I would like to take Barrister Abimbola's opinion on this. On the next question.
So, in my own opinion, I'd like to use an analogy. The result seat bill is when you have a class of mixed children who are 100. There are 100 pupils or students in that class. And each time after the break, they have to come back in. The boys are emptier, and then 95 seats are already taken, which means there are just 5 seats for the girls. Yeah? But when the teacher looks at it and she says, after the break, you're to reserve 30 seats for women or the girls, you're to reserve 30 seats. Then you're closer to the number of boys that will be seated as much as girls. The reserve seats to me is ensuring that as much as we can provide the amenities and the benefits for the men, the women have equal opportunities to bite at those benefits. Not just one gender having the upper hand, because naturally, like she said, I mean, it's a patriarchal society. I'm sorry, I'm a women's rights activist. I have to mention patriarchy. But either ways, it's not a soft landing. The reserved seat bill, somebody once asked me that, are we now saying that we're just offering the seats to women? No, because the seats have not been offered for decades. The seats have not been offered for generations. So if they will still be elected into those positions, but at least they would have more chances of being voted in. I mean, we're tired of having the upper and the lower echelon in the society. Shouldn't we have better and equal echelons? Thank you. That's what the real means.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your answers. And I mean, that is just, I don't know what to say to this answer, but I believe you can agree with me that these are awesome answers. Yes, the reserve seat bill being a ground for equal representation. I mean, like somebody once said, yes, men and women we are different in our structure, but intellectually we might not be different. Actually, there are smart women, there are capable women out there that can also do much in terms of governance as men, like men. So moving on to the next question. I will throw it up to Ms. Barakat and Adejumo. So some critics say that his bill is about tokenism. Yes. Should women not just like shouldn't they use politics by merit? Why should there be result seats? Why should there be result seats for them? How do you respond to that?
Well, to me personally, from what my colleagues have said here, we all know that in one way or the other, in this our own society, anything that has to do with gender, there is always a kind of stereotype. Are you not a female? Are you not a she? Why are you talking? Sometimes you feel like they don't even want to listen to our voice. And the truth is, you cannot explain my own deficiency better than me. So when we have women in this position, I mean in leadership, it will be better for them to express our own concern. Just imagine something about paternity leave, maternity leave. Now saying we want to give equal opportunities, I mean equal leave to them. Do you think it is worth it like that? No, but if we have women in leadership, they'll know that, okay, this is what we're supposed to give to our women. So fine. Some of these critics always fall to me, traditionally, societal pressure too. Because we women ourselves, sometimes we don't carry that charisma as much as it is needed, especially in terms of leadership. You know, when you have a particular boss, a female, and then you have a male, sometimes, let me say from my own experience, people try to judge that I prefer to have a male boss rather than female. You know, in one way or the other, we are bringing our women down from leadership. They will tell you that women are not good enough in leadership. But truth being told, emotionally and intellectually, we can do better. We can do it. So to me, most of these critics are not something that we cannot actually debunk, especially when it comes to religion aspect of it, the cultural aspect of it, the traditional, and educational wise too. Some people will tell you that, in fact, we still see some parents that they will tell you that they cannot give the same education to female children like their male counterparts. So that's it.
All right. Thank you so much for your very awesome answers so far. Because of time, I would just like to move to the next question, which I'll be trying to Miss Blessing and Barrister Oyinloye. The question is that if this bill passes, what practical changes should Nigerians expect to see, not just on paper, but in governance? Because I mean, you are clearly for the bill, not against the bill now. This was supposed to be a nuanced conversation, but I don't want it to be as if a friends will force this on our audience. We're trying to preach the congregation. No, we are trying to help you see, like see from different spheres, like different opinions. This one I've had here, she's showing entrepreneur and also a Muslim, right? So you can give us a different perspective from religious aspects. Um Mrs. Blessing here is a social entrepreneur. You work with women firsthand. Abimbola here is an activist. So we're not just here to preach to the congregation. We're not just here to force this agenda on you. We are here to just help you see from different lenses, from different perspective. So I would like to hear from you that if this, what are the first categories you expect to see, not just in paper but in governance when this bill passes? I don't want to use if now. When is it passes?
So the reserve seat bill is something that we are looking forward to, and we really hope that, in fact, we see it being approved. And you know, the numbers don't lie. When you look at it from 1960, that Nigeria has gotten her independence. Today, this is 2025. We have that's 65 years. So are you trying to tell me that in the whole of 65 years, not one woman is deserving to become the president of this country? Is it that none of our women are smart enough? Is it like you don't have a woman that is capable? That's not the truth. We've never had a vice president from 1960 to date. We've never had a governor. As a female, from 1960 to the 65 years, no woman is, in quotes, capable, right, of becoming a governor. Except for one time that we had an acting governor in Anambra state, yes. So, and aside from that, even deputy, how many can we even count? Now, okay, let's talk about Senate. In the Senate, we have 109 seats. How many do we have as female? Just 4. Just 4. Okay, now let's go to the House of Rep. 360 seats. How many do we have as female? I think they are 14 or 17, if I'm not mistaken. Now, to the State House of Reps, House of Assembly. Now, in total, all the seats available in all 36 states for the State House of Reps, House of Assemblies, we have 990 seats. And believe you me, we have just 48 women. And out of these 48 women, there are some states in this country that don't even have women at all, about 15 states. Now, think about it. This is like a natural, it has become a norm, in quotes, that this leadership role is meant for men. We see women leading in businesses. We see women leading activisms, leading movements, initiatives. We see women leading in the financial sector, in the banking sector, name it, music, in different careers, in different aspects. We are being used, right? Because even in politics, we might say, okay, yeah, we don't have a lot of women in politics, but go for board meetings, you see a lot of women. Come out on election day, you see mostly women voting. But why is it that in leadership roles, we have few women? It's very disheartening. And now we are trying to say that let us have a structure, a proper structure, so that we can ensure that women are involved in this thing, not just leaving it to fate and continuing with the stereotype or how it has always been. So that is why we are coming up with this bill, and we are really pushing forward for it, because when you take a look at Rwanda, now they have about 60% or 61 of women in their parliament. How did they do it? They had structure. They had they had quotas. Exactly. These structures that were put in place enabled their women to come. You can't tell me that Nigerian women are less smarter than Rwandan women. You can't tell me that because, you can't say that maybe because their women, they are more ambitious than Nigerian women. That's not true. But then they made sure that things were put in place. And this is the same thing we are fighting for. We want things to be put in place.
Sorry. Thank you. Yes. That's the whole aim of this topic. Like we want that space to be given to women and all that. So after this space has been given to women, so what are the things? You just say women. When people just compare to other people, after giving women this space, what will they do intact? Are they going to stop the corruption? Are they going to make more jobs available? Are they going to make more inclusive bill? Are they going to make be like a pace setter, can open doors for more women to come into this space? What will these women do? Not just on paper, but in governance. Actually, step and things these women will do. These women are advocating.
So let's even ask, what have the men been doing? Did you bother to ask the men what have they been doing?
Right now, we know like we are not dumb or deaf to what's happening in our country. Like we know, but people will challenge you. They want you to convince them. They're indifferent about this. They want you to bring them on board. You have to love it. You have to talk to them. You have to have conversations with these people, because no matter how you say it, the people are already there. You just can't chase them up, right? You just can't fight them. You have to bring them on board. So you have to help them see how what you are pushing for will really make a change. So that is what I want. I just want to refer.
So just as I was saying, and I asked that question, what have the men been doing? So we didn't try to ask what have they been doing, but then women are coming on board. We're asking these questions, and see, we already know that women, when a woman is on the table, the agenda changes, because then the policies would actually reflect what we are going through in the family. And coming down to the smallest unit of the society, that's the family. Women are very family oriented. So definitely, both will affect her family positively would be on the table, she would sign for it. You can't tell me that that woman that was unable to sleep yesterday night because her child was not feeling well would see an opportunity to bring in more hospitals that will be closer to everyone's home, or to ensure that there are more, more maternal health. Do you want to tell me that such a woman will say no? So that means it's just to show that because we are more family oriented, we feel the pain. We can understand the pain of an average person much more better than others. You understand? And that is why we are going to ensure that I can assure you that more women, when women are there, will do more things that would ensure that the society is more like it's better. Yes. And you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, thank you very much. Just like an example right now, like there's a project now, there's a man and a woman. They both have population to enable to that program. So, but then the man keeps looking down on the woman, she can't do, she can't do, she can't do it. And then he tries to force it away. I'm not saying that that's what's happening, I'm just trying to paint a picture. And then trying to force it away on the woman, like this is how it should go, this is how it should be. So, but then they try it this way and they break lot. But think of it like, what if you allow the woman to also share her perspective? Just like one hand here, lifting the weight up, it's going to be easier than for one hand to be lifting it. So we're not saying that women have all the answers. Sincerely, just that they can also assist in lifting the hands of the men up. It's going to be like a collective effort here from both genders. We're not saying that once we come now in the next 2 years, everything is changing, but no, but we have a hope of advancement, of fresher perspective, of more drive, sincerely, because they know that their chance there is being monitored. They're trying to see, are you deserving? I mean, you say you can do it. You are here now. What can you do? So we believe that women will take up that chance more
passionately.
Yeah, more passionately to of course change. Like all the maternal health video talking about because sincerely the shots that I heard about that women are broke. Nigerian women are broke. They are very, very broke. They don't have money. So if they want to talk about it's about challenges preventing women from coming to politics, we talk about money. We talk about money. But money will not come from heaven. You have to prove yourself with that money. We don't know. I don't know how the men are getting the money to get there. We don't know.
We actually do. We are just.
But it just.
This.
We don't want to talk about. We've been modest about how.
Okay. Yes. Let's be modest.
You just need to have that money, right? So we believe that when this bill has been implemented, there can be so many women empowerment initiatives out there that can help women fend for themselves, because you need that money. Since you cannot just be a crybaby and be like, please, I'm a woman, she's also be there. You have to prove yourself, right? You need to have credibility, you need to have a track record, you need to have everything you need to actually win. Yes, the result seat will be there for you. The advantage is just that the result will be there for you. And you already have your seat, nobody's dragging it into you. But you have to have the credibility, the track record, the experience, whatsoever, to win in that space. So I would still like to hear from both of you. What do you think, like, what are the practical changes you think? We're talking to our fellow women now. We're trying to also put ourselves to the men that will watch this podcast. Now, what are the practical changes that we want to see? Not just on paper, but on earth when this bill is passed.
All right, Juliana, I like your submission. I'm a very practical person because accountability is key. It's very key to me. It is one thing to say that you can do something and you are allowed to do it. It is one thing to get into that position and do something else. This is where the disadvantage of tokenism comes in. Yes. Because they are now giving you the chance, oh, you want to be there, sit there, but we will control you there. Yes. Do you know that there's also a disadvantage of some of the men in those higher echelons of power pushing the agenda of, or pushing related family members, women, into the result seat?
That's not my next question.
Oh, I did not see your mind. So now that we're speaking to women, it is one, let me not jump into your question, but it is one thing for you to say, oh, I have the strength to do this thing, but when you get there, you're not representing any woman. Because you do not know the heart of everybody. You know, women are, as much as men are trying to get into that powerful position, women are also trying to get into that powerful position for selfish reasons. Because you're a woman, and because you've been given a reserved seat, does not mean that you automatically will do right there.
Exactly.
Let us be very objective. This is not against the bill. women must have their reserved seat bill. It is something that I powerfully support. But I'm speaking to the women now. We're supporting, other women are supporting them. In fact, we could be the women in those reserved seat bill in the nearest future. When we get there, it is not the time to now become somebody's toolbox. Or it is not the time to now become aggressive or abrasive towards women. Where they want to see you say, oh, their problem is too much. Women are always talking too much. Do you understand? As much as the drive for the reserved seat bill is, we're also trying to push the agenda. While I'm also an advocate, I'm also trying to put the agenda out there. That as much as people want to see your face, they need to hear your voice. And you need to be selfless. Not think about what you will pack into your bank account. So this goes for both genders, rather. As much as we're also trying to ensure that power is clean for the men, power should be clean for the women when they get.
Thank you so much.
Well, for me, I think one of the major things that I would be expecting is that they should have implementation of policies that will bring about equal opportunities for both gender. That is one thing that I'm looking out for. If we actually have quality women on set, thanks to Barrister Abimbola, we have some women there actually. They are being pushed, not even pushed. They are being, like, should I say, placed there, controlled, and everything is not even about what they have in mind or their own projects. They don't even have a voice. And we are fighting for voice being heard. Actions, not just that we want a representative. So I think that's just the little thing I want to chip in.
Juliana, most importantly, women getting into those positions shows representation. And we would have better people to actually be role models to our children that are coming up, like Mrs. Blessing said. You know, if they can count, you know, she speaks program that she talked about. We saw a lot of women who are in top positions, you know, and then we have little children also come out to speak on the stage on that day. What better way to show that you can do it? Do you understand? So as much as we're also trying to fight people reserving the seats for women, every woman that gets into that space must understand the fact that you're a representation and a voice and a role model so that the people can point to you.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Mo, because this bill will also run for 4 cycles before it will be reviewed. So if after 4 cycles, it is reviewed not to be effective, not to be as what we think it should be, I believe it's just going to be a slap to everybody sitting right here trying to advocate for this bill. So we need to talk about things like this now before it gets passed, before this bill gets passed. So my next question, like I said, is that one fear most people raise about this bill is a piece of the system. So what safeguards do you think needs to be in place for this bill to deliver its purpose? So I'll just take any of the answer.
Well, I think, let me start that, sir. I can jump in. But I think that, first of all, the screening process for whatever candidates has to be transparent. If I would use the word translucent, we should be able to look through. There are just so many corners that we're trying to cut when it comes to politics. Oh, it is our father that gave birth to the person that gave. Don't concern us. It does not. Because if you're not using those criteria before the election, we will always end up letting the same circle of people, only different gender. And I know that is not what we want. We want people who are clear. People don't look at somebody because they've stared before. Don't pick a woman because she's stared. I'm not also saying pick a person because they are male. These are not criteria to ensure that it is a waterproof policy or process. I'm saying look at previous track records before you put them out to be elected. Because truthfully, vote buying is still going on.
Yes.
Politicking is still going on. Nepotism is still going on. People that Godfatherism is still going on. So if you say, oh, she represented the Kiniko, what good did we get out of this? Do you understand? So as much as we're doing that, this is one of the safeguards that we need to put in place. Another thing, the people voting, the electorates, there is nothing that sentiments can do for you while voting. Use your brain. Use the brain that God gave you. It is important because I've seen, it is very painful to me. And I know a lot of people say, oh, it's because of activism. No, that's nothing to do with activism. I've seen people just pick other people because they feel like, Pick a person that you feel like, oh, this man, he has spoken to me once. I've heard him speak, or this woman, I've heard her speak on such a podium and she was advocating for this thing. Advocating also does not mean that they are going to do the right thing. So why we also put some of these safeguards, we do a lot of prayers in whatsoever religion that we have, so that God can help us. Thank you.
In addition to what Barrister just said, for the general public, political apathy is something that is eating us up. A lot of people don't want to be involved. Our votes don't count. What's the essence? Even if we vote, by the time they enter the place, we can't have access to them. So most people have become indifferent about politics. They are talking about it. They don't want to know what's going on. And this is really eating us up. And I would really like to encourage that everyone, as long as you're a citizen, to even be a good citizen, you have to be involved. Like, get to know what is going on, know what is happening in the house, know what is happening up there. Make your demand accountability from your leaders. Or when the people in power sees that these people that I'm leading, they are not taking it small, they demand accountability from me. They will buckle their shirts, they will buckle their belts rather, and ensure that they cross the T's, dot the I's, and ensure that they have a clean record in front of their people. So now the call is we are calling on people around. Generally, we are calling on all citizens to ensure that they get involved, know what's going on, demand accountability, of course, respectfully, and then the sky is the starting point for everyone.
Well, my only little addition is going to go to people that we have in leadership space already. Like our women there, at least we have 4%. Now, you see, if that 4%, like those people there, the few number of them that we have there, if they're actually doing what is required, I mean, the agenda of the people, I think men would not have much to pressure that no, they are not deserving. Because we can tell them that look at this person here, look at this person here, look at what they've done, look at what they've achieved. We are given the same time, the same fund and everything, the same access, the same opportunity, and they've done this. But you as a man, you've not done this. So sometimes, action can actually give us a kind of ginger as citizens. No, we are going to vote for more things. So that's my own plea though.
Thank you so much. To wrap up today's podcast, we've had a very wonderful time in the studio. I mean, I've been able to listen to deeper insights, fresher perspective from our esteemed guests. So to wrap up today's conversation, just want you to give one message to somebody out there who is still skeptical about this bill. Just one message. Just a brief message.
The Result Seats Bill is a wonderful bill. It is a bill that has been, in fact, I feel like our explanations do not do justice to it. We need this, we deserve it. Please support the Result Seat Bill, and I'm very sure you will not regret it. Women are doing exploits and they will continue to do it. Thank you.
Okay, to our people out there, my own is it this Result Seat Bill? It is not to test the ego of our men. It is not to prove that we are better than them, but to let them know that we're a great companion and a great partner. And we are also intelligent and smart when it comes to leadership. So please support us. Support women in leadership. That your young girl that is going for senior ed girl in school, support her. Don't tell her to shut up when she needs to talk. So that is my own piece of advice. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. My piece of advice is to our men to support the bill. We know that you may feel threatened that we are coming to take over, but then we are not coming to take over. We are coming to work as allies. We are coming to work hand in hand, right? And so we hope that you would support the Reserved Seats Bill.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, what today's conversation has shown is that the Reserved Seat Bill is it's not just a policy. It's about fairness. It's an opportunity, and it's about the future of representation in Nigeria. So, whether you see it as forced or fair, what matters is that Nigerians are talking, and that is the final. That's the first step towards change. Once again, a very big thank you to our guests. This is Blessing Olanrewaju, Ms. Barakat, Adejumo, and Barrister Abimbola. Oyinloye. And thank you to you two, our listeners, for watching. This podcast once again was brought to you by the UN Women's Advanced Women's Political Participation in Nigeria project implemented by Royal Heritage Health Foundation. And until next time, I am Juliana, and thank you for watching.